Hello, everyone. It's Carlos with your April 2026 real estate market update. Spring is here, and this is one of the most active time of the year in real estate. But I know a lot of people are also feeling some uncertainty. So today, I'm going to break down what's really happening in the market and what it means for you if you're thinking about buying or selling. Let's start with mortgage rates because that's what everyone is watching. Yes, rates have been moving around a bit lately, but even with that volatility, they are still lower than they were last year, and that's improving affordability. The Iran war has certainly created short-term volatility. Energy price spikes can briefly push yields and mortgage rates higher as investors hedge against the risk of near-term inflation. Here's something important. Nobody can perfectly predict where rates are going. What matters is understanding what's happening right now and making the best decision based on your situation, not trying to time the market perfectly. What we're seeing is short term volatility, meaning rates move up and down based on global events, like what's happening with energy prices and the economy. This isn't unusual, but it does create hesitation for some buyers. Mortgage rates don't move in isolation. When there is uncertainty in the world, like inflation concerns or global events, rates can fluctuate. That's what we're seeing right now. Now, here's the part most people miss. Even with recent rate changes, monthly payments are still about $270 lower per month compared to this time last year on a $500,000 loan. And even if rates drop slightly more, the difference in payment may not be dramatic. So the bigger question becomes, do you wait or do you act while there is less competition? The good news is that across the country, payments are improving year over year. That's helping more buyers re-enter the market. Another big positive, incomes are rising faster than home prices for the second year in a row. That's exactly what we need to improve affordability long term. At the end of the day, affordability comes down to mortgage rates, home prices, income. And right now, those are moving in a healthier direction. Now, let's talk about the spring market. Sellers are finally starting to come back, and that's happening right on time. And the spring market is showing signs of positive momentum despite recent global and economic volatility. New listings jumped over 20% from February to March. That's a big increase and it's giving buyers more options. We are seeing more homes hitting the market steadily. That's something buyers have been waiting for. Inventory growth isn't happening equally everywhere. Some regions, especially the South and West, are seeing more new listings than others. That's why local market knowledge matters. Across most of the country, more homes are being listed compared to last month. That's a sign of a seasonal change in a healthier, more active market. Here's something important for sellers. Not everyone is adjusting to the current market. Some sellers are choosing to pull their homes off the market instead of lowering the price. In fact, delistings hit a record high recently. That means many homes didn't sell, often because pricing or expectations didn't match the market. But here's the twist. Many of those homes are coming back on the market, giving buyers even more choices. So if you're selling, you need to understand you're not just competing with new listings, you're competing with homes that didn't sell the first time. Now, on the buyer side, activity is starting to pick up again, slowly but steadily. Buyers have more choices, and lower mortgage rates will allow more sellers to afford their next home. Some sellers are both starting to regain confidence. That's a big shift after the uncertainty of the last few years. Let's address the big question. No, home prices are not crashing, but they are changing. Some markets are still going up, others are flat, and a few are seeing slight declines. This is one of the most localized markets we've seen in years. Year over year, median price is up nationwide, but just a touch. The Northeast shows the highest increase, modest still, and the Midwest higher as well, but not as much. The South is pretty much even, and a slight decrease in the West. This is critical. Pricing matters more today than it has in years. Overpriced homes are sitting longer and losing leverage. Compared to the pandemic market, more homes are now selling below asking price. That's a big shift, and buyers are taking advantage of it. We are seeing flat or slightly negative price growth in some areas. That's actually good for buyers and helps bring balance back to the market. Even with all of this, prices aren't dropping significantly, and here's why. There's still a housing shortage. There simply aren't enough homes to meet demand. Inventory is growing, but not because everyone is selling. It's growing because homes are staying on the market longer. Even with more listings, we're still undersupplied as a country. That's why prices remain relatively stable. Here's the bottom line for April 2026. Mortgage rates are volatile, but better than last year. Affordability is improving. More homes are hitting the market. Buyers are coming back. Pricing matters more than ever. If you're a buyer, you have more choices and more negotiating power than you had in years. If you're a seller, strategy and pricing are everything right now. If you want to understand what this means specifically for your neighborhood, I'll be happy to help you build a plan. Let's make a smart move this spring.